Good Monday morning, fan base family. Brother Mark Scott here. It is August the 8th. This morning's minute, I want to give what I'll call an OG challenge. For all the OGs, for all the elders, the people who've lived some life and have been experienced. If you've got anybody around you that you talk to, that you have any influence with, that's younger than you, my challenge to you OGs, take one of the mistakes that you've made in life, the lesson you've learned from it, and take the time to tell somebody younger than you what you learned so hopefully they can avoid it. There's an old statement, nobody cares about how much you know until they know how much you care. And if we can just take that first step of humbling ourselves and being vulnerable enough to admit that we've made a mistake in what we learned from it, maybe we can open up the doors to have relationship so they can see that we as OGs still care.
I've been a bit slow to make a public statement or any content or video about this. Again, as always, I do want to take this opportunity to first welcome you to the channel. This is Brother Mark Scott. I am a native, born and raised Houstonian, proudly. The whole situation that happened a couple of weeks ago with TRAE the Truth and ZRO here in Houston has been crucial, is probably one way to describe it. And I don't want to approach this from a way where I'm trying to sensationalize or just ride the wave of controversial content, but I do want to take an opportunity to salute the Houston OGs. I've honestly, I've been listening to the content from the people who are close to the situation, who actually know the people that are actually involved with this. And while the traditional or the old school street mentality reaction would have been to have violence begetting violence, and then, that would have done nobody any good. We would have lost more life needlessly. But quite honestly, I have to say that much respect to all the real OGs. Everybody has had a very measured, thought out perspective in their conversations, in their interviews. They've been trying to calm the tension within the city. And I just want to take this opportunity to salute all the OGs. Again, we live in a time where often the sensational, dramatic, controversial, violent reaction, it gets attention. People, again, they will do something or record something and holler world star, because an opportunity to go viral or make money to them is more important than the overall impact on the community itself. And we have to come back to a place where we have a code of honor amongst ourselves, where we can begin to protect our reputation as a people. Again, we've got enough people who feed into the stereotypes, and we have a responsibility to weed those people out of our community. But to see how the more mature, the more established people in the Houston community have come out and spoken publicly about maintaining peace and things will be handled appropriately without getting outside people involved. So I just want to again say thank you to the real Houston OGs and salute you for trying to keep the peace. Again, Brother Mark Scott, I'm all about love, all about reconciliation. And sometimes it's hard when, especially, you have such a large platform or a large following, or just your pride as a man, when you have to deal with public embarrassment and still try to maintain a professional persona. That's a lot of emotional and psychological weight for anybody to have to carry. So again, I personally huge fan of ZRO. And to see how he's navigated this situation throughout this controversy has been commendable and respectable as a man. To understand the level of detail that he's gone through in his life to get to where he is. I mean, I've followed his career ever since I found me, all the way through to see the evolution of his growth in music, his growth as a person, as a man. and to see him with the whole world watching, because again, he is a international star, not just known here in Houston or just in Texas. ZRO's music is loved and respected around the world globally. And to have to see that kind of embarrassing image publicly go everywhere put him in such a difficult position, that he still had the level of self-awareness to not let what other people were saying on the outside, what was trending on social media, dictate how he chose to handle it. And quite honestly, he did something that a lot of people and a lot of men could not do. And he humbled himself like a very mature man, and he chose the path of peace. Now, again, he has every right to deal with this accordingly as he sees fit. But as far as how he represents himself as a man publicly, how he represents the culture, he chose to take the most intelligent approach anybody could have chosen. And it was not easy. You could see the level of restraint that he was composing himself with in all of his interviews. So just salute to you for setting such a good example, not just for Houston, but for the entire world to see. So I'm hoping that we can see more examples of us as men in our community in particular deal with pressure situations where we don't fall into the stereotypical traps of responding emotionally or because of the pressure that we feel to protect our you for setting such an amazing example. Brother Mark Scott, I'm out. And in the spirit of Pimp C, we're still knocking those down.